All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Darius Anucauskas, and I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com. And today is Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the 17th of February of 2026. Look, I wanted to do a little quick technical video, technical analysis video on some precious metals and what's happening right now. I think that would be quite useful because, again, we're having a little bit of a calm moment, so maybe we could prepare ourselves for I don't know, something a little bit more interesting. So look, before we go any further, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So yes, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'm not going to disappear anywhere, no. Precious metals kind of eased off a little bit lately. And we saw, gold kind of stabilizing around 5,000, but I'll get to all that in a bit. Look, also just a quick mentioning of our Markets.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the charts here. And the first one, of course, I want to pick up on gold. Yesterday I did a little piece here for our VIP clients, and basically what I said here that looking at the technical picture right now, we're kind of seeing a little bit of sideways action at the moment. So it's not like a beautiful range here that we're seeing, no, but basically we're currently stuck roughly between kind of 4,878 and the 5,092 levels here. So we're basically oscillating around that psychological 5,000 mark. And now the big question is, where are we going to go next? Are we going to see another push higher, or is it actually time for a little bit of more of a retracement? Now, if we just purely dig into the technicals, right, then I would be leaning more towards the downside. However, again, things happen, geopolitics, politics, monetary policies come out, so we know that we're not expecting any rate cuts up until May time, because again, looking at where's that Fed Watch tool, let me refresh the page here. I haven't refreshed it since yesterday. But look, Jerome Powell is leaving in April, right? April is his last. He's leaving in May actually. His last attendance will be on the 29th of April. So, and like I said before, if you watched my Market Talk webinars, I mean, I talked about this before. I said that we're not going to see any rate cuts initially. Maybe we could have seen a one rate cut, like something like a farewell gift from Jerome Powell. However, given that he was attacked by all these accusations and everything, so I think that he's just going to say, you know what, guys, that's it. I'm going to stay as it is. I'm not going to do anything. So yeah, we're not going to see any rate cuts up until then. So maybe June, maybe July. At the moment, the probability is for June to see a cut. July, also, yes, the same. So we're expecting a cut in June. This is understandable because the new person will come in. His name is Kevin Warsh, and he will try to please the White House administration in a way because, again, this is something that you do kind of if you get appointed to such a high level position. Anyway, so coming back to, and then maybe, like I said, this could help drive, commodities higher again. But at this point, it looks a little bit more bearish to me. So even from the technical side, look, we had a, oh, excuse me, still recovering from a cold, and hence the deep, attractive voice. Look, we had a great rally, right? Everybody knows that 5,600 almost. We hit that in at the end of January, but then we sold off, and basically we managed to drop all the way to 4,400. That was a massive drop. Since then, we recovered to that 5,000 territory. So in a way, we could see this formation here as a possible bearish flag. And if it is the case, well, then the path is to the downside. However, I'm not in a rush, of course. And this is gold that we're talking. So in the short run, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the downside. However, I would need to see some clearances, like for example here, this 4,872. Now today we did have a drop below that, but we failed to stay below it. So if we do eventually see the body of the daily candle, this is a daily chart, we see a body of the daily candle remaining below the 4,878, then yeah, I'm gonna lean a little bit more towards the downside. I'm not gonna get like very super bearish or anything, no, because I'm gonna aim first for the 4,600 kind of 55 zone here ish, approximately around here, or maybe even the 100 the 100 the 50-day EMA right here, shown as the green line. And if that gets cleared, certainly yes, we could go further south, but at the moment, let's go slowly, okay? Another thing, China right now is in celebration mode, so they're off until next week, Tuesday. They're coming back. So, a lot of kind of precious metal buying could be postponed. So, and also we're getting the inflation numbers on Friday from the U.S., the PCE, the Fed's favorite inflation metric. So, if somehow that comes out on the higher side, well, we could see, like I said, we could see, precious metals kind of drifting further south a little bit here, and this could work out nicely. The idea of a possible move lower here in the precious metal side, on the precious metal side. So gold could move lower, silver as well. Let me just jump into silver. But yeah, for gold here, I will get more excited with the upside if we do see a push back above the 5,092 territory, somewhere around here. Then yes, then I'll lean a little bit more towards the upside. But at the moment, while we're kind of stuck in here, I'm not really touching it. I'm just observing the price action. Silver. Now, silver is a different story here a little bit. Look, I'm kind of leaning also to the downside on this one. And I do believe in further declines. And look, we had a great run, right? If you watched my videos this year, last year, I mean, I talked a lot about this already, and I said that whatever comes up must come down eventually. This is a good example. This is the third time in history that we're seeing something like that. Look, first time it was like 1980s, then 2011s, and now this. So I do believe that there could be a larger correction on this one. This is a monthly chart, by the way. So I think that the new norms of silver could be established somewhere around 50s. We're not most likely we're not going to go to the levels of like $20, $25 here. That was like that's like so 2017, 18, right? But 50s, I think these are the new norms. These are the new floors. So from there, I mean, most likely we'll take another period, a long prolonged period. We will trade somewhere in between 50s and 70s, and for a few years, and then maybe until the next explosion. For now, I would say this way. We had a great run. Are we going to get another push higher? If I'm judging from this, like looking at this monthly chart here, I would prefer actually to wait for a push above the 92 point kind of 20 territory, somewhere here. That's the current highest point of this month. If we do get that clearance, yeah, I'll go higher. But at the moment, I think that given that the whole hype it faded out a little bit, there is a potential for this one actually to move back down again. Again, unfortunately, I do not have a crystal ball, and it's difficult to say. But we're analysts, all right. We're trying to kind of use all the data, historic data, and try to predict what could happen. So in a way, judging from past activities, I think, like I said, there is potential for some more downside, especially if we. Let me just actually draw Fibonacci very quickly, and then I'll continue on that thought. So, especially if we go back into the daily chart, especially if we fall somewhere below the 70.50 territory, somewhere around here. If we do clear this, I will go lower. I do like this area, the 70 kind of the 70 and a half zone. And if we do clear it, I'll go towards the 55s or something like that. But in general, another thing here to consider actually. Now, this is to please the bulls here, okay? Because I have to, you have to examine both scenarios. in a way, this could also work out to the upside. But for me personally, I mean, I would prefer to wait for some certain criteria to be met. So, look, if we're again coming back to the same technical analysis, looking at the structure here, if gold was doing more of a bearish flag moment here, and it could lead to some lower levels, silver is doing something else here. This is one of my favorite formations, or could be one of my favorite formations, is whenever you have a strong decline and then a gradual decline like this. Now, this kind of tends to be a little bit more on the positive side. Now, again, it's what I'm drawing here is honestly, it's very, very subjective. But let's say, let's say we see a follow through here to the downside on gold. It could drag silver further south, so we could see this one drifting lower and then kind of rebounds somewhere from around here, from around maybe the 65 levels. And it rebounds and starts pushing back up. So it kind of forms something, like I said, like something like a falling channel, or maybe like a a falling triangle pattern here, or falling wedge pattern. If it is a falling wedge, well, then even better. That's kind of showing me that there is potential for the upside. So again, in the very near term, I do believe that there could be some more downside later on. Maybe we could have another wave or something like that, another wave of hypeness here. But again, for now, I am kind of a little bit leaning towards the downside. I know that the gold and silver bugs probably are gonna hate me right now, but hey, somebody has to say it out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, yes, this is what's happening here with gold and silver. Again, feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or not. Platinum, similar story like silver, actually seems to be forming something interesting here, something to the downside here with after a sharp decline, and there's a gradual decline, which could lead to some maybe an upside move here. But again, let's not rush into things. I will draw this for now on this chart, and let me recycle these lines here. Always recycle, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, something basically like this. Maybe, like I said, it's not a very attractive falling wedge pattern, which according to all the TA rules tend to break to the upside. But yeah, for now, this is, like I said, this is something that I'm watching here. I do still have this upside line in place, and which could provide support. So in a way, we could also drop all the way here in a way, but that's just a thought. The one level that I was really watching here very carefully is the 2000 kind of 299 zone, or we can round it up to 300, because I talked about this and I said to you, look, I said it several times. Watch the monthly chart. Watch it in December. We were watching it in December. We were watching it in January. I said, look, we were piercing through it, but if we fail to stay, if the body fails to stay above this hurdle, above that 2,300 zone, which is, by the way, the highest point of 2008. Remember what happened then? A little bit of a financial crisis that we had. And if we do, fail to, we struggle to stay above this, then kind of that's a little bit bearish to me. So now we're seeing this bearishness. Again, at the moment, I'm leaning only for a little bit of a decline. However, again, anything can happen in the market. Something can come up, and it just kind of falls off the cliff. And so maybe even the upside scenario then is not on the table. But again, for now, like I said, I'm still leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Palladium, also similar story. Something like this is happening right now, so potentially more lower levels. We could see some lower levels at the moment. I mean, the 100-day EMA shown as the blue line here on my daily chart is providing fantastic support. But if that gets cleared, well, yep, I'm gonna go further south. Just a quick glance at copper, drifting lower. That's fine, but again, some critical areas of support are coming up. 1,156, and yeah, it's an interesting area here. So if we do stall, if the 100-day EMA also provides good support, maybe a little bit of a rebound could be possible, because I think that it all depends on the whole equity world at the moment. If the tech sector suddenly gets another boost, then yeah, we could see some precious metals kind of actually pushing back to the upside. And that's it for the precious metal coverage. I just wanted to do a little quick technical coverage here of these very valuable instruments that everybody's so crazy about all the time. So hey, hopefully you enjoyed this little session. Thank you very much for watching and listening. As always, I keep on saying, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. And let me know in the comments what you think. Really would like to know your opinion, because maybe you have a different one. So yeah, have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.